I'm Ray Nothstine of the Carolina Journal. I'm here with Representative Jay Adams. I wanted to ask him about the legislation that he's been championing in the General Assembly for the Second Amendment and just kind of giving an overlay of how he's trying to break the stalemate here in North Carolina.
Well, obviously we did pass House Bill 398, which was the pistol purchase permit repeal. The bill was originally written that would simply say that if you can't get your pistol purchase permit in the county in which you reside, you could get it in an adjacent county. And the Sheriff's Association didn't like that. And as I can imagine why, if you're in Cabarrus County and you're a sheriff there, you're going to get the overflow from Mecklenburg, and you really probably aren't equipped for that. So we wrote the bill for that. The Sheriff's Association said no, the pistol purchase permit is obsolete. The National Instant Background Check System is effective. Just repeal it. And that's what we did. We altered the bill to repeal the pistol purchase permit. We passed it, House, Senate, went to the governor, and he vetoed it.
Tell us about some of the good things that are happening in the Second Amendment. Why is this an issue that is expanding nationally? There's been a lot of good movement on this issue. North Carolina's been in a little bit of stalemate, but tell us why, compared to maybe 30 or 40 years ago, why inherent rights are expanding across the country.
Well, I have to say one of the most positive things that I've observed in the last couple of years is simply going to indoor shooting ranges. That's not where I ordinarily go. I have a range at home where I can shoot outdoors, and I go there frequently. But when I come to Raleigh, I don't have that opportunity, so I've actually gone to several indoor shooting ranges. And for instance, one of them I went to, I was standing there at my shooting lane, and I noticed a young lady that came in around lunchtime, and she had on athletic clothes, but she had a satchel full of very nice handguns. And she unpacked. She was very methodical in the way she unpacked everything, did her shooting, and she was packing up. And I said, "You got some nice stuff there. How long have you been shooting?" And she said, "About a year and a half." And I said, "Wow, I mean, you've got some really nice stuff here." And she said, "Well, I got my concealed carry license, and when I was doing the shooting, I realized that this is fun." And I said, "Well, yeah, it is fun. That's why we do it." But she went on to say that I can come here at lunch and do my routine with my guns, and rather than go and work out, and I go back to the office, I don't have to shower, don't have to do my hair and everything, and I enjoy this. Another time I went to another range, and it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon when I finished my shooting. I was just browsing around at the gun shop, and I see people coming in. And they're coming in and they're greeting each other, and it's almost like a bowling league. These people are assembling to come to the shooting range and enjoy an afternoon at the range. So I see people that are buying firearms and engaging the shooting sports that I never saw before. That's healthy, that's good. That means that more people are becoming more aware of the fact that they're having difficulty getting their pistol purchase permit or getting their concealed carry license. And they're learning that those are rights that are being denied. So those are the positive things I'm seeing, and that will put pressure on the legislature. That'll change the dynamic over time.
And a final question for you, Representative Adams. Tell us about, I think if this fundamentally comes down to our capacity for self-government, why don't you explain what that means for the Second Amendment going forward? Why is our capacity for self-government so important for this issue?
It's a good question, because we are at a nexus right now. We're at a juncture where we're seeing things. Right now we're in the throes of redistricting, and we have seen some, I think, very, very poor behavior on the part of the courts. The courts are now drawing district maps, congressional district maps. The courts are now saying that the legislature must appropriate $1.7 billion to education over the Leandro case. These are tests. These are a real test of how we're going to govern ourselves. Are we a representative republic, or are we a court-driven decision-making body, which moves us in a bad direction? I mean, voter ID, that was as close to you as you get to democracy when you have a statewide referendum and the opponents spend $10 million to defeat the bill, and the public still passes the thing 55 to 45, and yet the governor and the courts intervene and block it. So we really are at a point where we're going to have to decide how we're going to be governed. And I hope that we come back to some reasonable model of what a republic is and how it operates.